Hi everyone, this is a super quick video to show you the little things we were talking about yesterday in the group about how I trim the sides and how I do my elastics, that kind of thing. So I just wanted to make this video as I promised. So this is one mask that I'm just starting. I press a lot all during the process. I really like to press a lot to keep them really nice and neat looking. So there's my outside pieces. This is my liner, so I've pressed both. I put them down good sides together, and then I take off about a 1/4 inch. You don't have to measure it out unless you really want to. Just about a 1/4 inch. Then another thing that I do is take a 1/4 inch off the bottom. That's completely optional. But I did find that I get a much smoother lining that way. I don't have all the fabric buckling up on the inside. I get a really nice smooth liner or filter pocket. It turns out really nice that way. So I also take off a little bit from the bottom. Completely optional. You don't have to do that. Of course, that's up to you. So once I've got that done, I sew my curve on my outside piece. I trim my seam allowance with pinking shears. I hope you can see that. I trim them with pinking shears to make less bulk and less fraying on the lining, on the inside. I do the same for the filter pocket or the lining. And then I double press the edge. I change the light so that I hope you see less glare. I double press the edge. Oh, much better, less glare. So I fold it once, about a 1/4 inch, and a second time, about a 1/4 inch. Then I sew right along. Give it a nice clean edge. You don't have any raw edge inside the filter pocket that will be pulling strings every time you decide to put something in there. So once I've done that, then I do my assembly. I guess I can show you on another one. I will turn the outside piece, and again I press to set my stitches. I haven't bothered in the hundreds that I've made, I haven't bothered to do an outside seam on this curve. I will just put it together. I use clips. I nest my seams to get a nice finish, and I use clips to hold it in place while I do my assembly. So you can see how I do it. I have my sides sewn down before I attach them to the outside. I sew the top and the bottom, about a 1/4 inch, sometimes a little larger. And then again, I use my pinking shears to trim off above the nose so that you don't get a lump, a bulky area above the nose when you do your top stitching. So that's how I do it. And you can already see that we have a nice big space to do our elastic channels or tie channels, whatever you want to call them. On this one, I've done the top stitching. I haven't pressed it yet. You can see the inside is all done. And I wanted to mention when I top stitch, I go right to the edge, right over to the edge, so that when you fold and create your channels, you don't have any raw edges sticking out of it. So that's how it looks. And you can see with the trimming that I do on the filter pocket, I get a nice clean insert. I don't have all this excess material on the inside. And this is how it turns out with lots of pressing. I love to press. So here's my double fold. I do about a 1/4 to 1/2 an inch and then fold it over again so I get a nice large channel that's easy to work with. And then I just do a tiny seam quite close to the edge without disturbing the pocket, of course. And I get a nice clean finish on it. I backstitch at both ends to make sure that when we're pulling on the elastic, we don't pull the channel apart. So that looks nice and clean, and it's well pressed. I'll sew this one down. and I have to add elastic to all the ones that I'm doing. So here's one. Oh, I showed you this one. Okay. Here's one that I'm adding the elastic to. So on this side, I've already put the elastic through. I'm sure you've seen this and done this a million times. Because we have a large pocket, or a large channel, I should say, it's so much easier to put the elastic through, and we don't have any raw edges that are pulling out with threads everywhere when we do that, when we top stitch right to the ends. So on this one, I've already tied a little knot. For the small use size, I cut my elastic 7 inches, 8 inches for the ladies, small, medium, adult, or 8 inches for the large youth. And I use 9 inches for the large and extra large masks. So all we're going to do is pull our knot through once we've got it tied. Sometimes it takes a little bit of fiddling. There we go. Pull the knot to the center. And we're done. Just like that. And I'll do the same on this side. Remove my pin, tie it, and pull the knot through the center. And that's all there is to it. So I hope this little video is going to help you make your masks. I'm really pleased with how they're turning out. Thanks for watching.